Hi, and welcome. Can I start off with a rather bold statement? You're going to discover something here that sounds so astonishing that you're going to wonder how it could possibly be true. But if you stay with me to the end of the video, something is going to happen that you can't undo. You're going to see money in a way that you've never seen it before. And it's one of those things that you won't be able to unsee. It'll follow you into your thoughts and into your decisions, even into your dreams, because it changes the way that your mind starts to work around money. By the time we're done, you'll understand why the bank system keeps people stuck and how you can finally break free from it. Let's start off with a question. Are you tackling debt the old way or the new way? The old way, just pay whatever bill comes, hope for the best, and watch the balances, but they barely budge. I get it. That's the pay and pray method that most of us grew up with. But here's the truth. It's not working. You know it. Your lenders know it too, but they're okay with it. Are you? Today, I want to show you something different. Not another budget trick, not another belt tightening sacrifice, but a smarter path. One that calculates the fastest route to zero debt without turning your lifestyle upside down. You see, technology is reshaping everything about our lives today. From cars that now drive themselves to the way we invest to smartphones that we hate to put down. We're living in this age of acceleration. I mean, wouldn't it only make sense that we would want to accelerate something else when it comes to eliminating debt and growing wealth? Well, what once sounded like science fiction is actually now an everyday reality. But here's even a bigger truth. It's not just gadgets that are changing. It's us, the way that we connect, the way that we work with others, even the way that we manage our money today is different from the way it was just 20 years ago. And in this new world, the question isn't if technology will change your life. It's how will you harness it? Will you let it overwhelm you, or will you use it to create clarity and freedom? That's the journey we're stepping into today. On the mortgage side of our business, we celebrate with families when they achieve the dream of home ownership. But behind those victories, we also know that another story is unfolding. Credit card balances that never shrink, car loans that stretch on for years, student debt that seems endless, and likely an eventual refi in their future. Debt has become a treadmill. People running hard, but staying in place. And we as a company, well, we wanted to do something to change that. For us, we leveraged technology to catapult ourselves to become national leaders in the mortgage industry. From the very beginning, we also believed that we should show our clients how to rapidly eliminate their mortgage and other debt. But we didn't have the technology at that point. But years in development, the breakthrough finally happened in 2004. We launched the first version of MoneyMax, an automated banking algorithm that would give consumers the same type of tool that a bank would use to pay their debt. But we didn't stop there. Today, MoneyMax has evolved into something even more powerful. Yes, we show clients how to redirect their dollars strategically to accelerate their debt payoff, but they can now use the same type of tool that a bank would use to grow their wealth, literally spending the same dollar twice. Why us, though? Well, other award winners, like the ones you see here, have literally changed the world by the technology that they've created. We're so proud to be part of such an elite group, but even more excited as we watch our clients rapidly eliminate their debt. What you're seeing on the screen isn't just lines of code, it's intelligence at work. This system is powered by advanced algorithms, the same kind of technologies banks to use to grow their profits, but here it's working for you. Every calculation, every adjustment, every recommendation is driven by real-time analysis of your finances. With this system, you don't just manage debt, you use a bank-level financial tool to eliminate it. Imagine, though, if your finances had a GPS, not a map or a spreadsheet, but a smart system that calculates the fastest route to debt freedom based on where you are today financially. That's MoneyMax. It starts by asking, where do you want to go? Debt free, wealthy, secure? You enter your destination and the system plots the most efficient path down to the exact day that you'll arrive. Along the way, it redirects your cash flow, cancels unnecessary interest, and accelerates the payoff of your mortgage and other debt, all without asking you to change your current lifestyle. No budgeting, no sacrifice, just smart financial navigation. In the MoneyMax account, it isn't magic. It's built around proven banking principles and strategies. The same principles banks have used for decades to grow their wealth are now available for you to grow yours. Let's break a few down. Strategic payoff means that you're going to be moving from just paying bills as they pop up to thinking mathematical precision. It's about targeting the right debt at the right time. Interest accumulation seems basic enough, but it means that you stop being on the losing side of compound interest. We flip the script to stop that silent killer from draining your wealth. Interest float means that you can start paying your bills the same way a bank would pay theirs by leveraging the gap between income and expenses to keep your dollars working for you longer before they leave your pocket. And interest cancellation? Well, lenders won't show you how to cancel interest, but learning how to redirect payments so that you can, well, you could wipe out years of interest charges and save tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest that you would no longer owe. These principles and others are what powers MoneyMax, turning debt elimination into a predictable, guided journey. Let's look briefly at that first principle, strategic payoff. Most people approach debt like a whack-a-mole game. Just pay whatever bill pops up, hope the balances shrink, and then repeat it again next month. But that's not strategy. That's just reaction. So let's test what you know about strategy. If you had an extra $300 left over after all the bills have been paid, and you wanted to use it to pay down some debt, who would you give it to? Many of you would say maybe the smallest balance, thinking the snowball strategy. Others may have said to spread it around. And truthfully, both would be helpful to some degree, but is that what you want with your finances? Close? Close means that you're giving money to your lenders that you don't have to. Strategic payoff changes the game. It's all about precision. It's about targeting the right debt with the right amount at the right time, so every dollar you spend has maximum impact. Yes, even the day you send extra money to a creditor on, it matters. So why should you use a financial GPS? Well, have you ever taken a look at how much interest you're actually paying? This is an example of a $300,000 mortgage at 6%. The principal and interest portion of their payment is $1,798. Look at how much interest is inside of that first payment. That's almost an $1,800 payment with more than 80% of it going just to the interest. And month two doesn't look much better, does it? But we signed up, though, for 30 years of payments. But this mortgage doesn't get to the halfway point until 21 years. And at the halfway point, you would have already paid more than $453,000 for that. And if you would have stayed on track, well, you would have paid $647,000 for your $300,000 home. $347,000 in interest. That seems like a lot of money right there. But that's a whopping 115%, basically giving away what could have gone a long ways toward a very successful retirement. And so let's take a look at some real people and real numbers. Meet KT and James. After all their bills are paid, they still have around $300 of cash flow on average, and they would like to use it to rapidly pay off their new mortgage. Here's what their debt looks like. They have a brand new mortgage, a car loan, and a couple of credit cards with balances. They also have a credit card that they charge all their living expenses on and then just pay it off each month. And said, let's look at what their current plan looks like. They owe a little over $340,000 total. And because they wanted to focus on the mortgage, we showed them, well, how much interest they currently owe on the mortgage, 347,000 and some change. So if they followed the bank's plan, they would pay more than $700,000 for their $300,000 home. The results? Well, they would shrink the amount of interest they owe, saving them $119,000 and 9 years of mortgage payments. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wake up one morning and you knocked off 9 years? Exactly. But what if we optimize the money through MoneyMax? The same cash flow, the same details. Well, at that point, every dollar owed, every dollar earned is now optimized. Exact mathematics would save as much interest as possible each month. The try it yourself plan, it was effective. It saved them $119,000, saved them 9 years of payments. However, using MoneyMax as their financial GPS, they would now save more than $264,000 and over 19 years of payments. Their new debt-free ETA would now only be 10.8 years away. Here's what it's doing for the family. MoneyMax gives them the exact guidance each month, showing them how to save more than 71% of the interest they owe without changing their current budget or their current lifestyle. How? I mean, that's what you're wondering, right? And I can explain it. It's math. It's highly complicated, far beyond what the buttons on your calculator can do, and it works. In the first 90 days of using the system, they had already eliminated more than $27,000 of interest they originally owed. So, save a bunch of time, save a bunch of money, but there's more. It was the same cash flow. MoneyMax just knew a smarter way to use it. Following the instructions would help this family keep more than $264,000 for their future. But I mentioned that there's more. You see, they agreed to 30 years of payments. MoneyMax shows you how to pay off your debt fast so that you can start saving fast too. After they become debt-free, if they would just redirect the same debt payments into a savings account earning only 1%, they would accumulate more than $711,000 for their retirement. They'd be 65 years old and financially secure. And so, what are you trying to build for yourself? MoneyMax gives you the exact instructions each month to make all of your financial dreams come guaranteed. That's what they become. So let me show you actually how it works. I want to introduce you to the offset account. MoneyMax can accelerate your payoff by using a HELOC or any other type of line of credit, even a basic savings account, or a high cash value life insurance policy. First, the system establishes a minimum reserve in your checking account. It will never make a recommendation to take your account below that number. Then the system sees income coming in. You'd go ahead and pay your bills just like normal, and then MoneyMax would provide directions with any excess cash flow that it saw. Each time it sees that income come in, it actually just repeats the process. As your offset account grows, it gets to an optimal transfer point where it provides you with who to give it to, the exact amount that you can afford to give, and the exact day to do it on for the greatest savings. But when life throws you a curveball, MoneyMax is there. Those surprises become part of your plan. The system adapts to it in real time, recalculating, redirecting, and showing you exactly how to stay on track. What once felt like chaos becomes clarity because every curveball is met with strategy. That's the beauty of Money Max. It doesn't just help when things are predictable. It shines because life is unpredictable, because freedom isn't about avoiding curveballs. It's about knowing that you can handle them. And oddly enough, most people don't start asking, can I do this on my own? Until someone actually shows them a way forward. The moment the solution appears, the mind actually kicks into comparison mode. Could I figure this out for myself? Could I do it faster? Or is there another way? And all of that is very natural. We all want to believe that we can solve our own problems. But here's the truth. Debt payoff isn't about your effort. It's about precision. And precision, it requires a system. Yes, you could go ahead and try to do this on your own. I mean, many have, but why hope that you get it right when you can know? Why struggle when you can be guided? And why settle for slower progress when you can accelerate freedom? This isn't about taking away your independence. It's about giving you the clarity that you want to have for yourself. And so, but what if it is smarter? And what if the system really is faster? Well, knowing how to fill this jar is what everyone here is actually looking for. Not that you want to retire on your own island, but imagine the peace of mind knowing that your future is secure. That's Money Max. You know, most people think of money as using a one-way street. I mentioned that there was another offset account. And they believe that you either have to save money and let it grow or spend money and lose the growth. Money Max flips that script. It's a strategy using a specially designed life insurance policy that allows you to act as your own bank. The biggest advantage? Uninterrupted compounding. Essentially, your dollar can do two jobs at once. It funds your life today while building a tax-advantaged legacy for tomorrow. For KT and James, here's their new 30-year plan. Money Max will help them keep more than $264,000 of money that they've earned for their future. Help them to become debt-free in just 10.8 years, and then will help them create more than $6,000 of monthly income starting at the age of 65 until they are 95 years old. That's a secure life. That's Money Max. On your own, it's a lot to get right. Most people don't have the time, the tools, or the expertise that it takes to juggle all those moving parts. Even if you did try, the margin for error is huge, and the cost of mistakes is measured in years of extra payments and thousands of wasted dollars. MoneyMax automates the complexity. It does the math for you. It tells you exactly what to pay, when to pay, and how much to pay. And so, would you like to know, though, what your future looks like financially? This is a copy of a personal savings report. It'll show you exactly where you are financially today, like how much interest do your lenders want you to give them? How much of that interest can you keep for yourself? For this family, after all their bills are paid, they only have $149 of cash flow left over. And let's be honest for a moment. If you only had $149 left over after all the bills are paid, what would you really do with it? You're probably thinking you wouldn't do very much, but that little cash flow, properly directed, is enough to be able to go ahead and show this family how they could actually keep 68% of the interest that the banks want to collect. For them, that's keeping 185,000 of their hard-earned dollars right where they want it, in their own bank account. You'll also get to see your current timeline with the bank's plan. For this family, they have a mortgage, so the bank's plan still has a little more than 28 years of payments to go. Yet, using the most advanced debt tool available in America, this family can now be completely debt-free in just 8 years. But there's even more. Getting out of debt may be the priority for you, but we know that you'll need more. This family, without earning any more money than they currently do today, would also be able to acquire more than $3 million for their future in the same amount of time that it would have taken just to pay off that mortgage. Money Max is simply life-changing. And so, are your gears turning about the possibility of living a financially free life? The next step? Well, we'd like to introduce you to your coach. Most people don't fail financially because they're lazy or irresponsible. They fail because they're alone. They're trying to make big decisions in the dark, guessing their way through debt, bills, and their goals that always seem to just feel just out of reach. That's why having a personal financial coach changes everything. Suddenly, you have someone in your corner, someone who sees your potential, believes in your future, and walks with you step by step. MoneyMax transforms your financial life from something you fear into something where you finally can actually feel the control. It's not just about money. It's about the hope, confidence, and the feeling of knowing that you're not doing this alone anymore. So what do you think? Should you automate your finances? Technology is changing everything about our lives, as I mentioned, and I appreciate all the robots and self-driving cars and stuff. But aren't you glad that it finally got around to your household finances? Automation isn't about giving up control. It's about designing a system that works for you even when life gets messy. And so here's your chance to actually have an honest conversation about your money without judgment. Your coach is here to listen, to understand your unique situation, and to help you see your money in a whole new light. In one simple, no-cost consultation, you'll uncover insights that can move you from uncertainty to confidence and from confusion to complete control. Your coach will gather the details that matter most and create a customized personal savings report for you. A clear, personalized snapshot of how your money can start working smarter if you wanted it to. It's not just information. It's a complete plan, a plan designed to give you the peace of mind that you've been searching for. You've carried the weight of your finances long enough. You've pushed, hoped, and tried, and wondered if things would ever finally turn in your favor. But you don't have to keep doing this alone. This is your moment to step into something better, a system that gives you clarity, a coach who believes in you, a path that finally makes sense. The MoneyMax account isn't just another tool. This is your turning point. It's your moment to stop just surviving and start building the life that you were meant to live. If you're ready to breathe again, schedule an appointment. If you're ready to feel real hope again, schedule an appointment. If you're ready to see real progress instead of promises, then take the next step. Say yes. Your future is waiting, and it's so much brighter than you think. Use the link to go ahead and schedule your appointment today. Thanks for watching.